working. We look like we're working to me. All right. No, we should be all good. Well, what do we got going on today? Actually one of the GW boxes. I haven't bought one of these in a super mega long time. And then Amazon had this one on sale. So I was like, don't mind if I do. So I'll talk about costs and stuff a little bit. But this is the Hive Secundus box. This is the new Necromunda starter box. I really like Necromunda. It's a very fun game. This is it's a box that contains two teams, but it is intended to be one person playing and one person essentially running as like the DM. This, in my opinion, really should have been a co-op starter box for Necromunda. And I'll explain why when we start looking at the teams. But so when I first saw this, I was like, yeah, that's a super missed opportunity. And I still feel that way. But I figured we would check it out and we'll talk about it as we get to it. Awesome, cool picture here. We got some Vansar guys, including a dude in a big set of power armor, shooting up a bunch of Tyranids, which is pretty dope. I will say this box is really flimsy and kind of trashy. It's got a bunch of holes and things already in it. Yeah, they didn't do a very good job on this box, which is a shame because a bunch of the other Necromunda boxes are like some of my favorite. Like, I still have them. I use them to transport all my Battletech terrain, actually. This is everything you're going to get inside. You're going to get two teams. You're going to get the Vansar, Spire Hunters, and the Malstrain Gene Stealers. Now, interesting thing about this box retails at $170. I got it for $140 off of Amazon. It's not actually two teams. It's actually a good bit more than that. So you're going to get the Spire Hunters, and then you're also going to get two of these like power armor suits. Hello! What's going on? Yeah, so you're going to get all the Spire Hunters, and you're going to get two of the power armor suits. GW is selling these separate, right? So essentially you're getting one team and then an add-on for the team. Same thing with the Malstrain. You're going to get the Gene Stealers, the Malstrain Gene Stealers. You're going to get two boxes of the Hive Scum to turn into GSC. So you're essentially getting 3 boxes here and 2 boxes with that team. So it's actually a much better deal than it appears at first. You're going to get 2 sets of dice, a ruler, some measuring widgets, a bunch of cards, a rule book, a battle mat, and we'll look at that in a minute, and some kind of crappy like setup terrain that's intended to work really for that battle mat. This box really feels a lot more like intended, almost like a board game to me, kind of setup than anything else. Which is why I say it's a real shame that it's not co-op, right? God, the fucking box totally just ripped. Oh, they did a really bad job on this box. It's really trashy. Okay, see what we got. We've got a bunch of the tokens, or the like measuring widgets. These are really nice. These are the same ones that have come in all the other Necromunda boxes. You've got your small blast marker, your big blast marker, you got your flamethrower marker. These are good. These are really cool. All right, and then we have what looks like okay. All right, let's look at our Gene Stealer friends first. So first off, is this the same sprue? It looks like it. Okay, so we get a duplicate for the Gene Stealers. What is on here? Let's see. What do we got? We've got some of the Necromites. We've got what looks like 1 Gene Stealer. Looks like we're going to get 2 Necromites. 1 Gene Stealer, 2 Gene Stealer, 3 Gene Stealer on each sprue. So you're going to get a total of 6 Gene Stealers, 4 total Necromites. They might have another name, but they look like Necromites from Warframe. So really cool tentacle head. That's pretty dope. Digging the tentacle head. Yeah. Pretty cool. It looks like we got a couple of options here. So we're going to have 3 bodies, and it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monster heads. So that's pretty cool. So each one of the 6 Gene Stealers we're going to have in the box is going to have a unique head. And then we also have the GSC heads on this sprue as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4 GSC heads in addition. So that's pretty cool. So it looks like we're going to get some options and yeah, and the GSC parts on these. So that's pretty sweet. So you're going to get 2 of those, 6 total, 4 Necromites. Yeah. All right, let's keep going with the Gene Stealer stuff. So you get 2 of these. They're duplicates as well. These are your Hive Scum. This is the Hive Scum regular sprue. This is like, you can just buy this in a box. It's really crazy. GW charges you $25 for this sprue. For one of them, not 2 of them, one of them. It's kind of mental, to be honest. There's a lot of cool stuff on here. I kind of actually always wanted to build one of these sprues, but I didn't want to pay the price, basically, because it was just ridiculously expensive. So this is a much better way to get them. So you're going to, looks like there's going to be a chainsaw, an auto rifle, a shotgun, another auto rifle, some kind of las pistol, another shotgun, a knife, a stubber, a flail, and an axe. So some cool options on there. And then these actually have heads too. So if you didn't want to use the GSC heads, right, like you could put this hood on there and that guy could totally be a GSC guy if you wanted. Same thing for that one, right? That one looks like a GSC head already. The hood plus the goggles. Totally do that. Yeah, it looks like they've got some grenades as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Looks like this chest is intended to have boobs. Yeah, looks like that's meant to be a more feminine chest. Interesting, but all the other ones look like more masculine chests. Gene Stealers don't care. Alright, then we'll look at this last. Wow, really? Sorry, random aside. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm saying that a lot today, but all right, we get 2 Vansar sprues. They're duplicates as well, and there's a whole bunch of little bits and bobs on here. Wow. Okay. Looks like we got a sniper rifle, some kind of regular rifle, a ponytail, some kind of like radio backpack, some more rifles, a little knife. Some kind of scanner. Some kind of really big rifle. It looks like he's reloading. It's kind of cool. That thing on the top's actually the battery. That's really neat. Some kind of laser injectee arm. Some more med tools. A different gun. A big underslung gun. That's pretty cool. Alright, so there's a couple cool weapon options on here for sure. Sniper especially is really neat. And it looks like we got, I think these are the heads. Really not super familiar with the Vansar. Yeah, that's a head. Those are the heads. I'm not really super familiar with the Vansar. I'm not like mega into them. They're a lot more regular sci-fi than the rest of 40k normally. So I did pick up one of these and built it. I think I'm probably going to repaint it, to be honest. But just because I wanted to see kind of like what kind of ideas I could start with the Vansar. I think these are pretty cool. It's a cool design robot, but I think I'll probably repaint it. Just because I don't know. I'm not feeling the green. It's a little bit too much like the box art for me. So, all right. So in each one of these, we should get 4 guys. So if we look at our legs, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yep, we're gonna get 4 dudes on this sprue. So it's gonna give us 8 of these Spire Hunters. And this sprue actually is kind of surprising. When GW normally sells like an add-on pack for Necromunda, you usually get a sprue like this, but you usually get 2 of them in the box. So you would get like, you know, if you buy like the Escher vehicles, you'll get like 2 sprues like this in a box. This, to my understanding, is an add-on pack, but it's only 1 sprue, which is really strange. Unless there's like... Unless there's like something I'm missing, it's really strange that this is only 1 sprue. Because normally, like I said, these come in 2 sprues. But it looks like we have a bunch of options on there. We got some claws. We got... Okay, so here's some legs. Yeah, this does look like it does make 2 bodies. And this weird cherub baby thing. That thing's fucking weird. I'm sorry. Like, whoever designed that at GW is just fucking weirdo. But yeah, we got some cool claws. We got some, like, big grabby hands. It looks like we got some weapons to go in the back of the hands. And we have the weird, creepy baby. Who the fuck even wants to make that? You know what I mean? That's the weird thing. Right? Like, who wants to make the weird fucking baby? But yeah, lots of cool bits on there. I am surprised this is not 2 sprues, though. And then last but not least for the plastic, we've got this sucker. What the hell is this? This is placeable terrain primarily for the game mat. So the intent of this sprue is to waste space, apparently. Holy shit, weird. The intent of this sprue is to block off portions of the game map so you can change the game mat up so it is like a different experience with the same mat, essentially, right? So this is the height of the plastic for that. It's very dense, it's very nicely modeled, but it's not very useful. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't connect into any of the regular terrain or anything. It's really intended just for this game mat. So to be completely honest, it's kind of a waste. It would have been much better if they had like a sprue of the regular terrain or something in here, or like a sprue of like more like scatter kind of terrain. Would be more useful for people that normally play Necromunda. If this is your first Necromunda thing you're buying, this is probably way more useful to you than it is to me, because this will let you modify the game mat and stuff. So, but that's that. All right, and we have our picture here that is protecting our stuff underneath. You can see it's taking a goddamn beating. Look at that, all chewed up. All right, what do we have here? We have our books, also wrapped in a nice package, but also beat to hell. Wow, okay. This thing had a rough shipping, apparently. Let's see. And here we have our tokens. These tokens are very useful for Necromunda, because you've got stuff like you're out of ammo, you've got your blood markers, and then you have these, which are like your sight widgets, which is pretty cool. And they are reversible. Yeah, they're really nice cardstock, or like plasterboard or something. They're really nice. They pop out really easy. GW always does a really good job on tokens. They really do. These are nice. All right. we've got a reference sheet. Let's see, rolls for blaze, falling damage table. Oh, nice. They actually give you 2 of those. That's really good for the 2 players. There's actually an insanity table. And then a lasting injury table. And then what webbed and blinded do. That's kind of cool. Probably not the most useful rules to have on here, but always cool. And then we got our rule book. She did get dinged up a good bit. But should be a pretty standard Necromunda rulebook. Got some cool art in there. Dude in his power armor. But it is totally themed, so that's pretty cool. And then you get into like the more regular Necromunda rules. And even those pictures are themed. It's pretty cool. And we've got rules for the new gangs. Rules for the basic game. That's a cool piece of art. Look at that. And it looks like we get a campaign in the end, which is pretty sweet. Forces of the Malstrain. And some painted model galleries, pictures of all the weapons. I do love that Necromunda does this, that they actually put the pictures of the weapons with the rules. It's really nice. I love that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Seems like a nice rulebook. Holy hell, is it thick. We're looking at 176 pages. God damn. The funny thing is Necromunda is really not... Necromunda can be super crunchy, but you don't have to play it like ludicrously crunchy, but it can be very crunchy. It's sort of like Battletech in that regard. It's like, hey, I want to do some really random fucking thing. Let's go dig through the rulebook and see if I can do it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, cool rulebook. It's really neat that it's completely themed for this thing. That's sweet. We get one of the best rollers ever. I love these clear plastic rollers. These are my favorite rollers. I legitimately save them. They are the best. I freaking love these rollers. So good. 10 out of 10. Wood roller again. We've got our cards. We've got our bases. Oh, they actually gave us Necromunda bases. Look at that. Damn, that's cool. And they have a magnet hole in the bottom now. What are these? Upgraded Necromunda bases? What is this nonsense? Alright, that's pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. That's super sweet. Flight stands. That's gonna be our dice. What is this? Do not tell me this is the battle mat. If this is the battle mat, we're gonna be having words. Like, I didn't get this to play Hive Secundus, right? But if you did, and this is the battle mat, holy shit, that's really, really trashy. That's really trashy. For a paper mat, the quality seems okay, but I would have expected it to be card, like thick cardstock at least. For a paper mat, it seems okay. But yeah, you can see like these are intended to be walls, right? So you put the doors and the other walls down in different areas and it changes the layout of the map. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that being made out of paper. So that will go back in the envelope. got a whole honkin' chunk of cards. Wow. Oh, man, that's a lot of cards. A bunch of these are for the different unit cards. So these are actually a smaller version than what you used to get. You used to get bigger ones than this. I actually like these smaller ones better. Bird scum. You get a whole bunch of them at least. So that's pretty cool. And then all of your disposable items. And all your equipment cards. That's actually really nice to have. Yeah, these equipment cards are really nice. I guess this is the loot you can pick up during the missions. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then these are your layout cards for playing like the Maelstrom game. So they'll like, you know, you'll be like, oh, you've done one mission, so this is level 2, so you draw one from the level 2 set. I believe that's how that works. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Very nice quality, and you get a ton of them. Looks like they cover all the players, all the items, and the actual game like setup and stuff. So that's pretty cool. So those are really nice. So if you want to play the actual Maelstrom game, that's pretty sweet. And then last but not least, oh, wow. I was not expecting those to be colored. That's really cool. So black and teal and black. Yeah. That's super sweet. And you got a lot of the dice too. You get 2 sets of 6. So that's pretty cool. Actually, 2 sets of 8. Damn. Okay. By the way, when you buy the little necromunda dice cubes, this is what you get in there. So that's pretty sweet that you get 2 sets of them. This is just a standard necromunda dice. So this is your scatter dice. This is your shooting dice. This is your wound dice. But just standard necromunda dice, and then your d6s with the necromunda symbol on the 6. Yeah, those are sweet. Really nice. Good stuff. I'm surprised the dice are so nice when that paper mat was so trashy. Yeah. All in all, nice box. I mean, monetarily, because GW charges so much for each one of these runners, it ends up being a very good deal. So this sprue is probably going to be about $55. These 2 are probably going to be $55. This is $50. And this is probably also going to be $55. So, I mean, you're looking at, what, $200 worth of just sprues, right? Not counting any of the actual game stuff. Just because GW parted these out, right? So when I first saw the box, I was expecting to get this in one like $55 box, but that's not how they broke it down. They broke it down like this. So, or they broke it down into these separate ones. So, yeah, interesting stuff. All right, let's build some. What do we want to build first? Let's start off with some hive scum. We'll build a couple of those, and then we'll build a gene stealer too. Oh, had to get the nippers. All right. Had to get the nippers. So the Van Sar guys are pretty cool too, but to be honest, they're very much just like the Van Sar guys. So there's not really too much to add to them, right? Or too much new to see there. Whereas these guys These gene stealers and all these are all kind of, while those are all totally new, these are kind of more new in my opinion. That doesn't make any sense. These are actually less new. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I think these are more interesting, I guess. So that's what I intend to say. So that's how our necromites and stuff go together. And here's how our gangers go together. So let's put a couple gangers together. All right. So we got what? 3 and 4? I'm wondering if all these arms and stuff are interchangeable in here, so we'll try to figure that out as we go. We'll try to figure that out as we go. All right. Okay. All right. Now, I thought ahead this time and 3D printed some bases. So unlike last week when we were building BDSM elves and I had to blue tack them all down, this time we are going to actually be able to glue them down. Speaking of which, BDSM elves, I've got my first real test model done for those since I started working on them previously. So yeah, so there's the one from the set we built last week. This is Bird Guy. So yeah, so gonna go with like tangerine, super dark green cloth, brown leathers, and then sort of a teal like ammos and pouches and vials and stuff. So should be pretty fun, and they should be very bright. I was tempted to do them like super dark, but I like, right, so like, oh, actually you guys are getting whited out because of the rules. Let's fix that. There we go. That should be much better now. Yeah, that's much better. I really like the lighter colors. I think it makes them easier to see on the table. So yeah, so there's my BDSM elf. All right, let's get back to building this hive scum. Okay. So if we look at our instructions, it looks like some of the weapons are at least interchangeable. I don't know if they're all interchangeable, but it looks like at least some of them are. We'll see in a minute. We'll put all the bodies together and then we'll try to mess around with the weapons. Bonk. Okay. Let's see. What is this guy? He is 9 and 10. 9 and 10. Where the hell did I put the runner? Oh, derp. There it is. Okay. Each one of these basically seems like it's 2 parts. I could probably just clip all the parts out and see what fits. Let's do that. I'm tired of reading the instructions. Worst case, I can always refer to the other runner to see what number is what. If I have to, but they don't look that complicated, so. I will probably have to, I don't think I have 40 mil bases printed. And I don't really want to use the necromunda bases. I'll probably use those for another project. So I'll probably save those, although it's very nice. It looks like they have magnets on the bottom now and stuff. That's pretty darn cool. But yeah, Necromunda is a very fun game. If you want Necromunda in the Wild West, I highly recommend Dead Man's Hand. And if you want a simplified version of Necromunda, I highly recommend Grimdark Future Fantasy Gang Fight. It's actually very similar to Necromunda mixed with Kill Team 2018. So I'm super big fan of that. Super big fan. So. Okay, let's see. We need a leg. Does this go with that one? It goes with that one. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. And this guy kind of has GSC armor already, to be honest. Even though these hive scum are intended to be like just like filler models, you can run them as their own gang, but they're really intended to be kind of like, you know, the civilians and stuff like that. You know, if you play a game and you pick up like a random shithead, that's what these are intended to be. Bonk, 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 bonk. Bonk, 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 bonk. Alright. There's that one. Nice and easy. And you know, honestly, I think a lot of these, if you have any of the like weapon boxes or leftover weapons from other gangs, you could probably give them to these guys and they would work just fine. So we're gonna have to hold for a minute. Like even if you use the base arm and then like cut the hand off and switch it to something else, you could probably give these guys all kinds of different stuff. The stuff from the what's the crazy religious rat ones called? They're not really rats. I turned mine into rats. Oh, what the hell are they called? These things. What are these called? Hello. What the? Pardon the dog hair. This is the life of owning a Shiba Inu. There's dog hair literally everywhere. Oh yeah, what the hell are these called? This is not Vansar's this techno gang. I do not remember the name of this gang, but these. If you want to use these guys as hive scum, they'd probably make amazing hive scum. Or use these weapons with the hive scum, it would probably be phenomenal. Also, I do apologize for all the dog hair, but this is the life of a Shiba owner. So, so these aren't the ash waste. Well, the vehicles are ash waste, yeah. But the gang, I don't remember the name of the gang. Ah, it's gonna drive me bonkers. They're kick-ass models, though. Absolutely love them to pieces. Alright, and normally they're people, they're not rats. I just turned mine into rats. And painted them to match my Skaven. I'm trying to get some of the dog hair off for you guys. This is their leader for me. He's actually a what are they called? He's a Age of Sigmar model with the big like rat tail cloak. Caldor, yes, thank you. Yeah, that's what they're called. But yeah, so they're pretty fun. And they would make fantastic hive gangers. So if you wanted to buy a box of those instead, you would get 10 guys versus 8 for like $5 more. So something worth throwing out there if you're going to buy these parts individually instead of buying the box. Always trying to help out, save some monies. So yeah, when I first saw this box, I was like, man, how do these parts even add up to 170? And then I realized that GW had sort of split the bits out. And I was like, oh, shit, okay. This box is actually crazy. Crazy amount of stuff. Alright. There they go. Let's see. Tells me to give one of the guys a sawn-off shotgun and an axe, so we'll clip those out. And what we're going to do is we're just going to try them on the different bodies. See if the parts are interchangeable. Because I'm assuming they are, but, you know, you never know, right? Alright, sawn-off shotgun and axe. Clip that out, and then we're going to clip out one of the rifles, too. Let's see, number 28 and 27. We'll do that one. But yeah, the setting in Necromunda is just amazing. It's so good. Like, so like the, all right, so let's try this out on this guy. Bonk. And bonk. Does it work? Looks like it works to me. Is that the weapon he's supposed to have? It might be. So let's try it on a different guy. I know it's definitely not this guy. Tiny, so fiddly. I think this will work. I'm a little worried the shoulder pad's going to get in the way. That's why I'm still futzing with it. But I'm fairly certain this will work. Yeah, it looks like it will. Alright, so you know what? We'll go ahead and we'll... I know it's definitely not this guy it's supposed to go on, so we'll go ahead and just give him this. And go from there. But yeah, the world of Necromunda is really good. It's just this planet filled with these like city-sized, like mega cities. Like if you took New York and then just walled everything in. That's essentially what a mega city is, but also like a mile high. And they're pretty sweet. And just that concept alone, right, being in these hives, like, it really lends itself to nice, kind of interesting stories. Yeah, that totally fits fine. Yeah, so you can swap all the arms. No trubs, so that's pretty cool. Whoop. You know, 'cause you have these, like, imagine you took a city that big, right? And you just encased everything, right? And you had to have all the machinery to keep things running, keep air pumping, to keep, you know, the bad stuff out. Like it's kind of crazy. But it also leads to this kind of like, you know, you're born on level 400 or whatever, right? You have probably never seen the sun. You know, you were just, you know, you're a trash kid or whatever. And that's pretty fun, you know. There's kind of like horrible environments, really. They produce cool stories. I don't know if this arm is going to work. I think her head might get in the way there, to be honest. I think we might have to lower that axe down so she's like chopping like that, I think. I don't know if giving her that is the best. Alright, we'll give it to this guy right here instead. Because who runs with like a gun up and a thing like that? That just feels weird, you know? Or if you're standing there, I could see that being like a logical pose. But yeah, so yeah, it just really leads itself to cool stories. There's this whole thing about people essentially living in like the gray water underneath the city, and it being this like giant ocean of just like trash, filth water. You know, and people like essentially sail on it and have built ports, and it's pretty cool. This left arm just always is going to look freaking awkward. I don't know if there's a better option for that. Let's see, we have a left shooting hand. So we'll put that on the guy whose body's tilted. It looks like he's shooting. So he's going to get that, and then he needs a right hand weapon. So it looks like our options are this dagger, or that's it. Yeah, looks like that dagger is our only option. Alright, that's fine. And then we'll give the running lady this pump shotgun. But yeah, the idea of this like enclosed ocean of like just locked in horrible ancient rusty machinery is really fun and a really cool idea. Your guys essentially have to like, let's see, 29, it must be 29 for the shotgun, you know, are essentially like pirates and shipping moguls and like all in this self-contained like horrible little area. And I think that's very fun. Okay, we got some grenades. We'll give some of them grenades. That's pretty cool. That axe is gonna bother the hell out of me. We might end up clipping that off. There we go. And then this one. This one actually connects with the hand being open instead of the hand being built into the shotgun. So it's useful if you don't want to give anyone the shotgun, you basically have a free arm then. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, now this guy, he's kind of got his body tilted, so I was going to give him the shooting aiming pistol. Oh, his shoulder gets in the way. Interesting. Okay. Isn't that fascinating? Huh. I was expecting him to be able to be like, have the arm like locked all the way out there, but he can't because of the shoulder pad. Now we could clip the shoulder pad off, or we could just have him be like a guy in a less ready position. You know, maybe he's got the gun down, he's got his sword up, kind of thing. It's a little less fun, a little less actiony of a pose, I guess, but could I give her? Could she be aiming then? Let's see. I don't mean to like constantly pull these apart, but could she actually be like aiming with the arm? Yeah, she can. Alright, that's more actiony. Let's do that. Yeah, that's a lot more actiony. That's more fun. Let's do that. And we'll give this guy the shotgun. Yeah, there we go. There we go. She's like shooting. That's pretty cool. Hello. How is Germany? Also, follow-up question. What time is it there? Because it is 10 o'clock here. 10:46. In good old Hawaii. Yeah, it's a little weird with the body being turned like that, but It's not terrible. Yeah, it's not terrible. This axe, though, is going to drive me bonkers with it being across the body like that. That's going to drive me insane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip it here at the sleeve, because that's going to give it a point where like where I can shift it, or I'm just going to pull the whole thing off. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, now we're going to put the sleeve back on. And what I'm going to do is, instead of having that arm slant inward, I'm going to have it slant outward. So, because it being held across the body like that just drives me bonkers. No one holds anything like that. So, it's much more likely he would hold it like out. Right, like even this pose is less likely, but it's way more likely than, here, this is my axe. You know. 2246. Hello from Maryland. Hey. Wow, so it's like legitimately like the end of the day over there. Interesting. Because it is the start of my day. So yes, that's a little better. All right, let's get some heads off them Gene Stealer sprues, and then we'll build a Gene Stealer. Okay. Let's see. There's a whole bunch of different heads here. All right, we'll just clip some out and we'll try them on. That's what we'll do. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Let's see. Running, shooting. I think I clipped out one that was like yelling. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty cool. That's pretty fun. I like that the Gene Stealer thing has the upgrade sprue on it. That's pretty cool. And then we'll give Shotgun Guy one of the heads. We'll give him this one. I guess that one's yelling too, so we won't give him that. We'll give the other running guy the yelling head. That makes the most sense to me. Yeah, there he goes. Running with his rifle. We'll give him the grenades too. He feels like a grenades kind of guy to me. Would have been kind of cool if these Hive Scum sprues had had like non-weapon hands in them, like just like carrying stuff and all. Now, if that is something you want, I would highly recommend you check out War Games Atlantic. I think War Games Atlantic. Yeah, the people that do Death Fields, I would highly recommend you check them out. There's that guy. He's got like a weird big bug eye. 1650 in Maryland. They are 6 hours off from me. Germany is many more hours off from me. But yeah, I would highly recommend you check out War Games Atlantic. They have this Death Fields line, including several sets of civilians for Death Fields in 3D printing. So like if you wanted to print out kind of like really high fancy people, they have that. If you wanted to print out kind of like trashy regular people, they have that. And if you wanted to print out like fleeing civilians, they have that too. There might also be others, but those are the ones that I'm aware of. Dun, 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 dun. I'm just touching the arm to make sure it holds better. Cool. And there's our guy with the axe and grenades. Alright, so that's our hive scum. They went together pretty well. Minus the one shoulder pad getting in the way, I think everything is pretty interchangeable. And I mean, even that would have been interchangeable. He just would have had the pistol at his side and not out like I wanted it. Alright, let's build some Gene Stealers. So the Gene Stealers, they go on 40 mils. Okay. Yeah, they go on 40 mils. I like how they're all kind of like hunched and like lunched over. Lunched is not a word. Like lurching, kind of like lurking, kind of hunching. Like, I think that's pretty cool. It looks like they're going to be pretty interchangeable too, to be honest, once you build the body. It looks like the arms and all are going to be pretty interchangeable. Let me see if I got some 40s. Oop. If not, we'll just blue tack them down. Alright, we got one we can really glue down. Yeah, we got one we can really glue down, and then I'll 3D print some 40s. Actually, on that note, I might as well just glue tack them all down. Alright, blue tacking time. So these necromunda bases are really nice. They have nice texture and stuff, and they do have a magnet hole in the bottom. But I don't know how I want to base these guys yet, so I don't want to do the necromunda bases. Because that kind of locks you into doing like one style of base. You know what I mean? I don't really want to do that, so. Alright. So let's see what we got. We need 1, 2, and 3. Watch out. It's Gene Stealer Man. Yeah, I did see a 3D printer that's doing a whole set of like upgrade parts for the regular Tyranids to turn them into like kind of male strain. I thought it was pretty cool. I was debating picking up one of the STL packs for it because it would I don't know, be kind of neat to have like the like actual like brood lord or something be male strain like this. That would be pretty cool. All right, here's our boy. Boop, 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 boop. He's got all these weird little growths and stuff. That's pretty cool. These are very cool models. And something like very different. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's not just a space marine or whatever, right? It's, you know, it's like, it's this monster, but it's this variation of the monster. That's really neat. You know, it's very much like let's take something, you know, let's take Gene Stealers and then like modify it. I'm also really happy they went with like a whole new bodies and everything for these. So it's not a situation where they just included the new like Gene Stealer sprue and then gave you an upgrade kit for it. Like, it's a completely separate thing, and I think that's really cool. You can see they got kind of like all these weird like mutations and stuff, little like bubbles and stuff. Good night. Which is really cool. You can see they got all these little bubbles and bumps, and like they are not okay, you know, and I think that's really cool creature design. Alright, so we're going to put him on one of the 40s. Get a little bit of blue tack for him. And we'll let him form up while we put another one of the bodies together. And then we will we'll get him some arms. Let's see, the other body is 23, 24, 25. 23, 24, 25. Let's see. Here's 23. So I was doing a whole lot of fantasy stuff, right? Like all my conquest armies and stuff. And I got through almost all of those. I have some Nords still to paint. But I honestly started playing a bunch of sci-fi games with my husband, and it just kind of gave me that sci-fi itch. And I saw that stupid meme with the Space Marine tossing the bolter, and man, I had to paint some freaking Space Marines. It was terrible. There we go. But yeah, it's important that when you're doing your hobby, you kind of follow the inspiration. You know what I mean? You follow what you want to do. Because otherwise it's very easy to get burnt out, right? If you're like, I only paint this kind of Space Marine and only this Space Marine, like it's very easy to be like, I'm tired of painting that Space Marine, you know? There's nice little projects, nice little skirmish games, give you a flavor of all kinds of stuff, and it's really good. All right. I was looking at Instagram earlier, and I saw a whole bunch of these that had like all kinds of extra growths and stuff on them. It was really cool. The person who did it did a very good job. They were using like green stuff and then sticking little beads in it so it looked like pustules and stuff. It was pretty cool. All right, let's pull some of the hands out. Let's see, we got 4 and 5 and 7 and 8. Some of these hands are single parts, but a bunch of them are, you gotta assemble them. All right, so here's 4. Here's 5. Sorry, I apologize if there's a whole lot of beard cam. Ugh. There we go, 4 and 5. Right, so it's going to be 1, and then the other one is going to be, what did I say it was? It's like 7 and 8, right? Yeah. So I think the inspiration for these like weird Gene Stealer growth things, I think it's very cordycepsy. Like if you look not at the freaking Last of Us, but if you look like at the actual like what happens to the insects, a whole bunch of them end up getting these like kind of big spore growths that come out of them that actually look a lot like this. So you could probably very easily turn these into like infected spore gene stealers, which would be pretty cool. Okay, how the hell is this supposed to fit? Like that? No. Like that. Interesting. Alright, you're going to go over there. Alright, so these arms have a peg on them. So they must go in the front one that has the peg. I guess they all have the peg. Alright, let's figure out how this goes together and then we'll sort that out. So this. Yeah, I think that's supposed to go like that. I think. The hands do not, like they don't really like feel like they're connecting anywhere. You know, like how the legs, they felt like they went in a slot. These do not. I think it's supposed to be like this, where his like wrist is like kind of twisted. But I'm not sure. Oh, maybe this one's actually supposed to be facing inward. Like that. Does that seem right? Yeah, that's how this one's supposed to be. This one's supposed to be facing inward. And then this one... This one's supposed to be kind of facing down, so like that. Oh yeah, I can feel it there. Okay. All right. That one actually, I felt it. That's good. That's good. Okay, then we got two bodies, and we can try the hands off on each one once we give them a sec to dry. Alright, the next two arms it wants me to get are 6 and 9. Damn, she fine. Suck it to me one more time. Alright. And we'll try these all out. And let's see, then it's telling me to do 10 or 11, so we'll clip out 11 because that's a really cool head. It's got the big tongue coming out. And we'll put on pieces 6 and 9. Nice. Alright, cool. Cool. Let's see. Yeah, that's a gross hand. Look at that. It's all like melted together. That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Alright, so it's supposed to go on the other guy. So let's see, does it fit over here? It does. Look at that. Alright, does it fit in the first slot? Yeah, it does. Okay. Alright, so it looks like you can probably mix and match all the arms. That's what that feels like to me. Because these arms are really supposed to go for the other guy. Yeah. You can probably mix and match all the arms. That's going to be really good. That means you're going to be able to have completely unique gene stealers. Let's see. Yeah, that clicks in right there. Where? Yeah, right there. Not so much there, though. Interesting. Okay. Well, I think there's definitely some interchange you can do. Maybe not 100% perfect, but you can definitely do some changing, right? Because like this one clicks in perfect. It's in a kind of a weird pose, but it fits in there. So I think there's definitely some interchange you could do, some interplay in there. But we'll build one according to the instructions. And then we'll see if the head fits. Alright, so it wants me to put this hand here. And then this arm goes in the back, like that. And then over on this side. I keep seeing all the little bits hanging off them and thinking I'm missing nubs. Yeah. So that's what that's going to look like. Yo, how I found this channel though. Just kind of interesting, but I got to bounce to go hunt baddies, y'all. I know like half those words. I'm not gonna lie. I know like half those words. And yeah, no idea how you found my channel, but this is what I do. I'm a grown man and a fancy professional, and I sit here and I talk about toys because other people sometimes maybe enjoy hearing people talk about toys while they play with their toys. Alright, so that clicks in there. Does that click in over here? It does. Okay, so that's swappable easily. Okay, good. Good. So it means that you'll be able to make them totally unique, so that's really good. Yeah, that's pretty damn cool model. Look at that. That's a cool models. Look at that shit. These are going to be a nightmare to paint. Not because they have like an insane amount of details, but just because the like position for the body is so hunched over that if you want to get like in that inner detail, it's going to be a pain in the tail. I'm not a big fan of sub-assembly just because I like to glue the models with plastic glue, and I think sub-assembly is really hard when you use plastic glue. You usually have to like prime them and then use super glue to hold the model together, and I like the plastic glue. So I'm not a big fan of sub-assembly, but like if you want to get up in there, it's going to be a challenge. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. This guy is supposed to have 15, 16, 18, 19. Then I want to build some necromites. Is this guy also going to get 17? Yeah, so I'm just going to clip that out since I see it right now. Alright. He's going to get 17 and 20. We'll clip that out too. Here's 15. And I think after we build this guy, I think we'll probably build a necromite. They're not really called necromites, but They're like Tyramites or something. I've been playing Warframe with my husband, and there are these things called cells that you do, and they're like this little mission where you like go into this weird ass lab. And you've got this talking goat talking to you the whole time, and like you'll at some point you like stop getting credit for the mission, and you have to go and hunt down this thing. And the goat shouts it. He's like, necromites! And it's, I don't know, kind of burned into my brain right now. And they look like these. Like, they fucking look almost exactly like this. They're a little more robot-y. This is a little more fleshy, I guess. But very similar, like, floating head kind of tentacle thing. But yeah, these the gene stealers here look like a pain in the tail to paint, but they should be very fun to paint. So my my Tyranids, I'll grab one. I spent about a year trying to come up with a Tyranid color scheme that I really liked. I probably did, oh god, 40 plus test models. I still need to repaint. They're sitting in a bag behind me. 40 plus test models before I put together the scheme I really like. You can see it really good on these little lictors. So again, pardon the dog hair. This is a life of a Shiba owner. They look super cool and creepy. They really do. I think they look great. So this is my you can see he's got a little blue on his tail from the water. This is my Tyranid color scheme. So it's white with an apothecary gray. This is a color called London Fog. And then it's kind of this sort of blue blended out onto a more darker blue claws with like pink internal bits. So I'm probably not going to do these gene stealers like this, because these are like conceptually like a separate kind of creature. They're not part of like the regular hive. These guys are like polluted and like disgusting. And the main like Tyranid force basically wants nothing to do with them because they're like super sickly and just like, you know, kind of like nasty. So I'll probably do these ones in a different color scheme. But yeah, this is how I normally do my Tyranids. With this kind of like merging of the colors out on the limbs. I'm quite happy with it. It took way too long to come up with though. I went through so many different colors. So these ones, I actually watched a video. Believe it or not, I actually don't watch many painting videos. I watch a lot of product reviews. I don't actually watch a lot of painting videos, but for whatever reason I watched a painting video of someone painting a Tyranid in the color scheme from some like 3rd edition art or some bullshit like that. And it was some picture I think that John Blanche did, and it's a Tyranid and it is red with like black. Some of the extremities were black. The face was like flesh color, and the claws and stuff were yellow. And it's a really weird color scheme, but I honestly thought it looked really cool. So I'm thinking that I will probably do something sort of like that, but we'll see. I'm starting to build my Tyranid Combat Patrol right now and still can't decide on colors either. Yeah, I think Tyranids are very hard to paint. So one of the things that I really like in painted Tyranid models is when people don't paint the shells. So you can kind of see that there's actually no real line where the shell ends. So you can see it here. Like the shell keeps going past that, but it's all white. And this line here is basically a strip. It's not me actually painting in the armor. I personally really like how that looks. And I think it makes it more like real living creature-y. You can see it on this one too, right? Like see the gray stripe going down the middle, that doesn't come all the way out to the ends of the armor. So I didn't like paint in the shell. You know what I mean? I think it makes them look more like living creatures when they have that, right? When they don't have the differentiated shell color. I think it looks really cool. So that's one of the things I really like in my Tyranid models, and it took me a long time to figure that out. I'm also a big fan of the like colored limb extremities. I think it looks really cool in Tyranids. Actually, I'm going to be super honest. I think it looks cool in everything. I literally basically just did the same thing when I was painting the world leaders on the channel, right? I basically gave them like fox colored or fox style coloring on their armor and just did it in red and bone. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the one piece that I really like about Tyranids. A lot of people do this like dotty pattern from a guy called Catgut. I'm not a super big fan of it, but I think one of the reasons people like it is because it doesn't actually fill the shell in, and it differentiates the line between the body and the shell. I think that's one of the reasons why people really like that dotty pattern. Because I've seen other people use that same pattern on things like Saurians, what are they called? Lizardmen. I don't remember what the fuck they're actually called. The fucking Lizardmen from Warhammer Fantasy. I've seen people use that pattern on that, and it has the same kind of effect, right? Like the scales didn't get painted in, but you have that kind of pattern across the whole body. So, yeah. All right. Now that I have tooted my own horn way too much, we can try to figure out how these arms go together. Okay, we're going to ignore that one for now. The posing on these arms is super creepy. But yeah, what even comes in the combat patrol these days? Is it one of these? And a bunch of like the grunts? Do you get the guy with the wings? Oh. Is it these? Do you get these in the combat patrol? Because these came from the Leviathan box, and usually what they do is they turn the Leviathan or like the launch box into the combat patrols. So I imagine you would get these, but I don't know 100%, so just not sure. But yeah, Tyranid models are great. Absolutely love them. Psychophage and a Tyranid Prime and like 15 gaunts. No lictors. Interesting. Okay, that's totally different than what was in the Leviathan box. I assumed it would have just been a little Leviathan box. Huh. The more you know. Tyranid Prime's a cool model, though. 10 out of 10 on that one. That one's a cool model. And you can build them with the wings or without the wings. Cool model. I actually have 3 Tyranid Primes. They're actually one of the models that I don't have any of them painted. Yeah. I need to repaint those old I use them as like big kind of test models because I was like, oh, this is a big centerpiece model. Let me paint it. And it should work as a good. After I kind of found something I sort of liked, right, from painting gaunts, I was like, oh, let me try on a big character model. This one is not cooperating. Oh, and where's the tooth? Wait, the tooth says it's like that? Oh, derpy derp, right? Oh, I see what I did. Okay. I see what I did. I understand now. I screwed up. These arms are intended to go on a different body. That's fine. That's fine. Those arms are intended to go on the other body. I'd like to build one set like the instructions, so we're going to do that. So we need 36. No, we need 30, 29, 26. Yeah, I'm trying to build one like the instructions. And then the other set I'll kit bash on my own later. It doesn't look like you're going to get many extra arms. If any. Yeah, you're not going to get any extra arms. Oh, I'm going to go buy some more today, LOL. Nice. Well, I hope you get something cool. The big cannon bug is really neat. I have been tempted by the big cannon bug in the past, just because he's really cool. The new one is really cool. The old one's also really cool, and a fantastic duo model with the thing with the big grabby mouth in the front. But the new one that's like the smaller cannon guy, he's really cool. All right. Okay, and then these arms, let's see, this one goes on the front. Right there. So the other arms are definitely interchangeable, but it's going to be one of those things where like you're going to have to play with it. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have to build them all and then try them out on the different slots. Interesting. Okay. Oh, Puppo is having a nightmare. Little buddy. He's also stinking, so as he just had his little nightmare there, he let out a noxious fart. So that's a thing that just happened. that's super gross, dog. Super gross. All right. Now we got to pick a head. It says this one should be 31, 32, or 33. 33 is the tentacle face, so I think we definitely want that one. That one's cool. I kind of actually wish all the Tyranids had the tentacle face. The tentacle face is just neat, especially when they do the hybrid thing, like with the little lictors. It's really cool then. Where it's got like the big teeth and the tentacles. You know, like this one, right? That's really cool. That's like a ultimate Tyranid face, in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty damn cool. That is a cool pose. And a badass model, right? So we got that guy, and we built this guy. We should build one of the necromites. We'll do that before I call it. They're great. 10 out of 10. They're awesome. Then we also built these. They're also pretty cool. They're not as cool as those Gene Stealers, though. Those Gene Stealers are fucking awesome. Alright, let's build one of the necromites before we call it. Let's build the second necromite. 38, 39. This one I think is going to be a little bit easier to hold. So the other one has longer like fingers on the bottom. Ah. So these things like float around, I think, and just like eat people's brains and like take them over. I think that's what these do. Conceptually, I guess they could also be like eyes for the hive lord, not the hive lord, the brood lord. They could, I mean, you could even probably have them like sub in for floating bombs if you really wanted. Sploosh. Alright, then we put his face on, which goes right here. Just like that. Face goes in the face hole. Where the hell is the face hole? Oh, the face is much lower than I thought it was. Okay. Yeah, and that's what that'll be. So these guys, they're they go in flying stands, but I hate flying stands. So I'm gonna probably try to come up with a different way to do these. Just because I think flying stands look like crap. But yeah, really cool. Very fun box. Looking forward to getting these painted. And yeah. So I am gonna probably call it there. I've been streaming for an hour and a half. And it is lunchtime here in Hawaii, so I think I'm gonna go make lunch happen. And yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Cool box though, very good. Really cool models. Big time looking forward to painting them Gene Stealers. We'll see if I paint any during the week. I have not been hobbying nearly as much as I normally do. Just because I've been playing so much video game lately with my husband. So me and my husband always play games together, but he usually does like some kind of like PvP game. And I'm not a big PvP game fan, so he's been doing a lot more like PvE stuff. So I've been playing with him a lot more. So I've had less hobby time. But also equally fun playing game. But I'm calling it there. Have a good one. Thank you very much for watching, and keep on keeping.